What is up, my ninjas? I'm Strident, and here I am with a review, finally, of Imperiex, the villain that I've been saying forever that needs to be in a Man of Steel film. Anyway, I got to give a big shout out to Brett Bush off of the DC Universe Facebook page. He hooked me up with this. Thank you. I've been looking for this guy forever. Anyway, let's take a look at the figure. I mean, look at that face. That is a mean-ass mug. I mean, he looks super evil, extremely imposing. I mean, this is a big figure. I've actually been waiting to build this figure for a couple years now. It's been about 2 years, so I'm super happy that I was able to finally, get this guy complete. I love his Kirby-esque design. It feels like one of the Fourth World characters from, back in the day, the New Genesis or New Gods. For those of you who don't know who I'm talking about, Light Ray, Orion, all of those guys. I just love how the Horsemen managed to capture that style in their style, their body type, those details, the little squiggly lines, all the circles or orbs, whatever you want to call them. It's just really well done, really well put together from head to toe, and I love it. The color scheme is perfect. There's no slop on the paint. All the little gold trim is perfectly done. And for a collect and connect figure, when you go back and you look at the old Marvel Legends, there's some times where slop, because of how they were painted. You don't get this here. He's very crisp, very clean, every bit as imposing as he should be, and I love it. Now, if you look behind me, you'll see that I have a couple things going on as far as figures. I didn't have all DC Universe classics. Actually, I don't think there's any. Actually, there's only one. But anyway, I picked up Dutch. I found him at Toys R Us the other day. Awesome figure. I'll be reviewing him in the coming days or so. I found this Power Attack Batman. Now, I was just curious, because since I got the Batmobiles, I figured, hey, let's do that. So, but I'll be giving him away, probably. Then I found this guy, the Classics, the TMNT Classics Leo. It's a figure I've been looking for a long time, and the store had all of them, but I settled on Leo. So now I got two. And I'll do the Batmobiles, another day. And it would be cool, kind of, if Dutch, trained Charlie and Guile. Wouldn't that be cool? That's kind of what I'm imagining, when I see these guys together. Capcom did do Aliens vs. Predator, so, it could happen. But, the focus shouldn't be on them. That's just for another day. It's all about this guy. Now, like I said before, Imperiex is a huge figure. One thing to note is he's got very malleable parts of armor on his body and his tunic, so that when he moves, those things don't get in the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're fairly malleable, and they're soft enough that when you bend his arms in certain positions, they give way, and he can actually assume the pose or hold the pose without the costume, restricting him or stopping him from doing what he needs to do. So like here, where he's hammering the Man of Steel with a ridiculous, left hand, powerful left hand, it doesn't look weird. You know what I'm saying? I dig it. I dig it a lot. I dig this figure a lot. I can't sing the praises enough. And it's kind of nice because this was one of those figures, like I said, I was waiting to build him. And when I finally got him all together, he was exactly what I wanted. Now look at this. With his legs bent in this pose, he's taller than that Movie Master's Hulk. Wait till you see him standing up straight. I was kind of amazed. I'm like, shit, this guy's a lot bigger than I expected. And you'll see it in just a second. It's weird. He's posable. He's pretty heavy. Doesn't feel cheap at all. And look at that. Head and shoulders taller than the Hulk. And that's pretty cool because he should be imposing. It's kind of nice too that they, even though he was designed, I want to say he was designed by Ed McGuinness, he doesn't have the McGuinness like bubbly huge body. You know what I'm saying? The bulbous, overly muscular body to go with this, which kind of would have matched, but I'm kind of glad they did it in the Horseman style. Now here he is towering over Superman himself. I always wanted to see that battle in a movie or something. Now I'm going to do a comparison with the actual Man of Steel Superman figure. And here he is. And it's kind of crazy. I mean, look at that. They don't look like they shouldn't be fighting or shouldn't be in the same collection or they shouldn't share a shelf or something. You know, the stylistic details, even though one looks a little bit more realistic with all the textures and all that stuff, you still have an imposing villain with a decent amount of texture on his costume himself, standing next to a hero, and it works. I think Imperiex is just one of those guys that if you love Superman and you want guys for him to fight, you need this guy. You know what I'm saying? If you want threats for your whole Justice League, you need this guy, you know? Here he is compared to some other Collect and Connect figures from DC. And as you see, he's pretty much the same size as the biggest of the bunch. I used Stell instead of Stripe because Stell needs some love. Can't only focus on Stripe. And you see him here next to my first Collect and Connect, which was my second one, I'm sorry, which was Atom Smasher. And you see that they're about the same size. Atom Smasher is just a little taller, but he's not bulkier. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this guy is, like I said, a must-have. Must-have. Everything that he's supposed to do, he does perfectly. His posability is awesome. The joints are sticking, the limbs are sticking together properly. You know, they clicked in and they seem to have stayed in. Here he is compared to some Marvel Select figures that are pretty big. And he's taller than both of them, not bulkier. I don't think there are many figures at all that are bulkier than that Marvel Select Juggernaut, except for maybe the Marvel Select Hulk. And that's about it. And I'm talking about not the one from the Avengers, the first one that was released. They did a Red Hulk variant, and also like some other one where he was kind of, I think, Savage Hulk. That one, the huge bulbous one that you really can't play with. He's very hard to pose, and you know, I did a review of him along with my John Stewart from the JLA Classified. But anyway, like I said, the dude is imposing, and these are two imposing figures, and he looks right. I mean, it would be cool putting him up against the Juggernaut, because, you know, back in the day, this version of Juggernaut was the shit, you know? He was the guy that, like, he was killing folks. So seeing him next to Imperiex, it works. It works to me. Imperiex is it's a perfect, to me, it's one of the better designs. And he's a modern villain. He came up, I think his first appearance was in 2000 or something like that. So, you know, this guy is a must-have if you are a fan of Superman figures or Superman in general and the villains, you know, his rogues gallery or whatever you want to call him. And if you are a Justice League fan, this is one of those guys that is worthy of your Justice League. You know what I'm saying? And he's a worthy addition to your shelf. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with some picks. I'm Strident. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This has been a review on the Dcuc Imperiex, and I am out. Peace outside, people.